Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
So here we go on a Friday. That means we are down in Jacksonville Beach at Bricks Jags Beach. You know it by now. Our wonderful, wonderful Friday home. Terry Norvelle set up inside. A little blustery, little weather moving in, I think, all over Duval County. But that's fine with us, man. We got a big old indoor location at Bricks Jags Beach. The crowd is filing in, the happy hour crowd. And I guarantee you, the crowd files in on Friday at Bricks. The $12.99 ribeyes file right out of that kitchen with two side items. The best deal at the beach, bar none. The famous Friday $12.99 ribeye special is being served as we speak. There they go, right out of the double doors right now. And if you're in the area, come on down. If you're in this area any time the next 3 or 4 days, definitely get down here. What a place to watch all of your sporting action. Great food, great people watching, big, awesome restaurant here, sports bar, Bricks Jags Beach, and a tremendous staff. That is the key that separates them here at Bricks. They get a big crowd in. They service the big crowd. You are happy. You're enjoying ball. We've got Major League Baseball about 5:08. The National League will have first pitch about 8:08 later on tonight. The American League. We'll talk a lot of Major League Baseball. What a wild, wild finish in Cleveland last night. And, of course, college football tonight, tomorrow, NFL football Sunday, including the Jaguars at 9:30. This place will be open and going on Sunday at 9:30, I guarantee you, well before 9:30, watching the Jaguars. Patrick Young will join us in a little bit, we hope. Also, Brent Beaird is scheduled to jump on. Brent was not able to spend a lot of time with us yesterday. We want to go over a lot of stuff with Brent. Major League Baseball to talk about. FSU Duke, let's preview that game coming up at 7 o'clock. I mean, that is a couple of hours away. FSU Duke in a real college football game from Durham. The Seminoles have never, ever, ever, ever lost to Duke in college football. Ever, ever, ever. We'll talk about that. We'll preview that game. Will this break the streak for Duke? The Blue Devils 5-1. The Seminoles 1-5. Who would have thought that? If you had told me midsummer that was going to be the makeup, I'd have said, are you cray-cray? You must be cray-cray. We'll break down that game as we go. We'll also have our picks. Patrick, myself, Zach Rothrock, our producer. We always do our 3-on-3 picks. We'll do those today, trying to hand you money. If you pay attention and you listen, well, listen to the right one of us, you're going to make money. I will guarantee you that. And then we'll do our show picks. We do it every Friday. Ready to do that. We want to give away 2 tickets to tomorrow's Florida-Kentucky football game. We've got 2 to give away. I'll kind of tell you how. We've got some guys that are already in the drawing, and we'll add some more people in. I'll tell you how we can do that. We'll look at the college football schedule starting tonight and all weekend. And as I said, talk some Major League Baseball as we go. Also want to look at the in addition to some college football news and notes with Brent Beaird, I want to kind of start looking at the potential pool because we're going to add some to the pool of 2-loss teams that think they are still playoff worthy. And it's going to get bigger. You know, either Alabama or Tennessee is going to lose tomorrow. That's going to be another 2-loss team. Other teams, Georgia might get beat tomorrow. The Dogs would be part of that 2-loss pool that's starting to build up. This is going to be so much fun. The next 3 or 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to add to the quality programs that have 2 losses, and then they're going to start playing each other. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to kind of see and preview where that is going as the college football season. We are pretty much at the halfway point. We'll look at that as we go. Of course, Brent Beaird will drive us with that as well. Nobody knows it as well as Brent Beaird. So there we go. A lot to get to. Zach Rothrock, I know you're busy. Did you watch any Major League Baseball last night? In particular, the end of the last 2 or 3 innings, 8, 9, and 10 innings of Cleveland and the Yankees. It was fun.
I checked out a bit of inning number, like the extra innings in the Yankees-Guardians game. Yeah, I mean the Dodgers and Mets was kind of a blowout time I checked in on it, but I did look at that. I believe it or not spent the majority of the time watching that Thursday night game, which I don't know. I think I was probably the only person watching it. I know, but
Nick versus Spencer Rattler last night, right?
Yeah.
And boy, the Saints have. Right?
Oh yeah, the fans are busting out the paper bags. They're busting out the paper bags.
They were 2-0, right?
Yeah, that feels like it was 6 months ago that they were 2-0.
It really does.
But yeah, it was only a couple weeks.
It feels like it was a long time ago. But boy, last night in the American League game, by the way, the Cleveland won. They really had to. They went into last night's game down 2-0. The Yankees won the first two in New York, and had the Yankees won the first one in Cleveland, it was over. Right, 3-0. You just don't come back from that. Particularly, there if needed, there's going to be two back in Yankee Stadium. But Zach, I don't know if you saw how it played out. Cleveland jumps up 3-1, and they hold that lead. Cleveland's leading at home 3-1, all the way to the top of the eighth inning. The Yankees are the visiting team, so it's the top of the eighth. They're batting with 2 out, nobody on. They get a little rally going, and Aaron Judge hits a dong, and then Stanton hits a dong, and just like that, you look up, and you're heading to the bottom of the eighth, and Cleveland's down 4-3. I mean, just like that. Cleveland had kind of outplayed them, and Cleveland gets nothing in the bottom of the eighth. The Yankees get held in the top of the ninth, and Cleveland sends up a pinch hitter, and I think I'm going to mess up his first name. John Kenny, I think is his name. John Kenny Noel is his last. This is a big kid.
Yeah.
They brought up, big, strong guy. You probably saw him, right, on the highlights?
Yeah, the big home. He had the home run, yeah.
Yes, this big kid, last name Noel, kind of a rookie. He's only batted like a couple times. He hits an absolute bomb in the bottom of the ninth to tie the damn game up. And then they hit a 10th inning walk-off home run to absolutely cut the Yankees' heart out.
Yeah, I mean, and that the way that the Yankees do that with Judge and Stanton, they're kind of, it's either a strikeout or a home run at any time. So when that means when they do click and when they do get things rolling, they can put up 4 or 5 runs in an inning when no one really bats an eye. But yeah, I mean, Cleveland's been good all year. I mean, look, they won 92 games.
Yeah,
they got a good staff. They got a really good lineup as well. So I mean, yeah, they're gonna give it a series. I mean, it's 2-1 now. Yeah, 2-1. Yankees are winning.
It's 2-1 Yankees. So the Yankees are still in control. Cleveland really needs to go ahead and sweep the next two in Cleveland to send it back 3-2 with a chance. And that's hard. That's really hard. If the Yankees can get one more, then this thing's one more in Cleveland, right? It's 2-3-2. So there are 2 more in Cleveland guaranteed. It'll be tonight and then their next one. So the Yankees, if they can just get one in Cleveland, they're going to be hard. The Yankees are going to be hard to sweep in Yankee Stadium, right? Game 6 and Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, you can't win it unless you're in it, and you got to hang around to be in it. So that series is 2-1 Yankees. Today's game in Cleveland. So Cleveland looking to even it up, and then at least they've got a chance to go to New York and do something special. The National League Series, the Dodgers, my God, the Dodgers have just been breaking out the whoop-em stick, man. I mean, you realize the Dodgers lead now. They won last night going away. The Dodgers lead 3-1 in their series, and they've outscored the Mets 30-9. 30-9.
Yeah.
And Zach, you said it a minute ago. I was trying the games overlapped a little bit last night because the first game was going late in extra innings. They overlapped. So once that great drama with Cleveland and the Yankees ended, I go, all right, more baseball. You flipped it over, and the Dodgers are off and running, man. Ohtani hit a leadoff home run. Boy, you hadn't heard that before. How about Ohtani? He had one of the best 1-for-3 games. He has a 1-for-3 leadoff home run, walked 3 times, and scored 4 runs. Mookie Betts goes 4-for-6, hits a home run. The Dodgers have just, when they win, I mean, they're winning 10-2, 9-0, 8-0. You know?
Yeah, they're a lot different. Like how the Yankees line up is just very like hit or miss. The Dodgers, they're going to get on base. They got so many guys that are good enough
Yeah.
at getting on base and making it's harder to shut them out. They're more likely to be able to string together a few innings and get things going. I mean, the fact that I can name like 4 or 5 guys in their lineup honestly says a lot. I can't do that for most teams.
Yeah.
But they're basically are the all-star team.
And they've just bashed the ball here in the playoffs. The Dodgers, they just, I mean, again, they're not winning many 4-2 games. They're winning games 8-0, 9-0, 10-2. I mean, last night it was over when it started. Really, it really was. The Dodgers just broke it out. I thought it's interesting today. Both series play today, and I think it's interesting. And I like what Major League Baseball did. They're trying to cover and give both teams a break in the National League. If the Dodgers don't win today, they're trying to give both teams a break with travel, because if the Dodgers win today, it's over. They're up 3-1. If they win today in New York, that series is over, right? If the Mets win to extend it, then both teams have to jump on a plane and go cross country, literally New York to L.A. So because of that, this is a little odd. Because of that, that's the first game. That's the 508 game. You knew they were going to make that the 508 game. So it could end tonight, but if it doesn't end tonight, you would rather both of those teams getting on the plane 6 hours ahead of time. And if they were the night game, right? You see what I'm saying? If they were the night game and they had to get on a plane, they're getting on a plane at 1 a.m, right? And they're starting their 6-hour flight or 5-hour flight. So I thought it was pretty smart by Major League Baseball.
And their next game wouldn't be until Sunday, too.
Say that again?
The Dodgers and the Mets, if they have to play again, their next game won't be until Sunday.
Yeah, but they want to get them out there. They want to buy those extra hours. You know what I mean? Right. They want to buy those extra hours. Now, if the Dodgers win, who cares? They can take their sweet time because they'll have multiple days to wait on the American League. But man, that was good drama last night. It was really, really good. And what about the guy Noel? His nickname is Big Christmas. Did you hear that?
I didn't. I mean, I can see where they
he's a big dude, isn't he?
I can. Yeah,
he's a big dude. He's a big dude, man. And Big Christmas. I think it was John Kinney. Was that his name? John Kinney. Yeah, I think we got Patrick. Hey, buddy, did you see any of that last night, Pat?
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that was a lot of fun. What? Oh. And
no doubt. Bang, gone. Wow.
It was. He hit the snot out of that ball, didn't he? Big Christmas.
Yes.
Big Christmas ran into it. And Patrick, as I was watching it, I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But I think no sooner had the analyst and the play-by-play guys, I think they were lauding Weaver about how good he's done all year. He's cruising along, and all of a sudden, wham!
Well, he got the first 2 outs were nothing.
Yeah.
And I think the guy that got the base hit before Big Christmas, what a great nickname.
Isn't that great?
I can't remember if he was 1 strike away.
I think he might have been.
Or if the guy hit a single on the first pitch.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. And then the next guy comes up and I think it was second pitch that he just took out.
Wasn't that great, though? They said, and again, I don't know the name. Shame on me. I think it was John Kinney Noel. His last name's Noel, and they call him Big Christmas.
Okay, I see how they got that.
Yeah, they call him Big Christmas because of Noel, the last name.
Yeah, that's cool.
Man, and then the Dodgers, man, they're just running roughshod, man. They're just God.
I mean, they're on all. Have you heard? Have there been any chirps about Ohtani's pitching it? If they need him.
I don't think they're going to put him on the mound. I don't. Boy, what a game he had! What a game! Mookie's 4 for 6 last night with a dong. Ohtani's 1 for 3. Led off the game with a home run. Walked 3 times and scored 4 runs. That's all he did.
Yeah,
that's all Ohtani did. Boy, the Dodgers are loaded, aren't they? God almighty.
They're a good team, man. But that's the thing. And I always say it. I wish baseball had a salary cap because obviously the teams that are going to spend the most money are going to have a better chance of making the playoffs, have the best players. And if you don't win, if you don't make a run, it's a disappointment.
Yeah,
absolutely. The Yankees, that goes to the Yankees and the Dodgers. If you guys don't at least make it to the World Series, all the money that you guys are paying, come on.
Yeah, it's with those two franchises, you're right, man. It's World Series or bust, and it looks like the two best teams. I think
Yeah,
the Mets have a huge salary cap as well. They have
really.
a
Well,
salary.
the Mets were on. I don't want to say borrowed time. I don't think that's the right phrase. But
Yeah,
no one expected them. They had the best record in baseball after the All
I
Star
know.
break, but still, like they're fighting for a wild card spot. Got in, won that first series, and had a chance. Had a chance
Yeah, yeah,
with the Dodgers. Um,
yeah.
but I just you
Dodgers
gotta
are just
have
bashing the
you
ball.
can't be a just got in barely by the skin of my teeth team to make it to the World Series. I don't think you know.
Do- And the Dodgers are just bashing the ball. Hey, some numbers came in recently from the LA San Diego series before, right? The playoff series before.
Yeah.
And get a load of here's one reason Major League Baseball is trying to expand into Japan, where there's a bunch of people. The previous series, the Dodgers got by San Diego. In the final game, you had an incredible matchup. You had two Japanese pitchers going at it. Yamamoto was on the
Oh yeah.
mound, and you
You
Darvish.
Darvish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so those numbers just came in, and keep in mind that was a Friday night game here in the States. It was Saturday morning because they're 16 hours ahead. So it was last Saturday morning at 11 a.m. 12.8 million viewers in Japan
Wow.
watched that game.
That's more than a lot of football games in
Absolutely.
here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wasn't
12.8 million.
Alabama Georgia was peaked at 14?
How about that?
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning at 11 a.m., they had
Oh
12
my.
million in Japan.
Yeah.
And I
You Darvish had a good game.
he
It's
did
just
have a good
like
game. He pitched his ass
he
off.
pitched well. It's
About
just
4 innings.
like yeah.
Yeah. And Patrick, I forgot about this. I can remember though, thinking back when we were on the air back late March, obviously way months ago. I'd forgotten about this until I read the write-up. You realize that LA and San Diego, they opened the season in a 2-game series in Japan. I
In
barely
Japan.
remember this now. Remember that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think Yamamoto gave up like what,
Second
11
game.
or 12?
I
Like
think it was
11
the
or
second
12
game.
runs.
Yeah, remember that? I think it was the
His
second game.
ERA was terrible.
He was,
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Yeah.
he was
Because
terrible.
what was so weird about it, I think, was that we got those 2 games, and then the next for the rest of the league wasn't like a week or 2 weeks away, or something where it was just like a big time lapse after those
Yeah.
2 first games.
Yeah, they got some travel time.
I like that shirt, Terry.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I know.
Oh yeah, it looks
Look
pretty
good. I
good.
look good today. I mean, I'm glad you acknowledged the elephant in the room. I'm glad you did. I mean, somebody had to. I don't like to brag on myself, so somebody had to.
Oh,
You know?
I guess that's true.
Hey, Patrick, we got a lot
Unless
to get.
you like bragging on yourself with these picks, that's for sure.
Oh, what picks? We'll get to those in a minute. You better have your 3, and we got to do our show picks as well. Oh, we got to give away a couple Gator football tickets. We still have some guys in the drawing, right? We still have some drawing.
Yeah,
guys.
I mean we have names from that form.
Yeah.
There are people put in 100 words or less.
Yeah.
You want me to kind of go ahead and read some of those now?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Why don't you count up how many we have, and then we'll make a random pick number, and that person will win it. How about something like that? We'll do something like that.
We might have 27 in this, which is a good number. Whatever we have is good.
We'll get to it a little bit later. We're going to give away 2 tickets. We've been doing it all year long. Florida, Kentucky, tomorrow, 7:45 in Gainesville. Pat, we got a lot to get to. I want to preview FSU Duke. We'll have Brent Beaird on. We got to do our picks. I want to get to something, though, Pat. We had you on, and I think you had just left the show yesterday when the news was breaking, and I want to come back to you. What did you make of Tony Bennett stepping down as the head basketball coach at Virginia?
Man, I think the biggest thing to me is the timing. Obviously he is not the only coach that has felt how difficult it is now to build a culture, to build relationships with players. It's just like, dang, bro, right before the season starts.
I know.
Because this is something he for sure, and I'll be honest, like I know Todd Golden at some point was dealing with these same type of thoughts of like, because It's changed to be not what coaches decided to go into this field for.
Fair enough.
As it's
Fair
changed into
enough.
something like that. And yeah, I mean, adapt or die.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, and he's won his championship. He's 55.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this because maybe this is mean or wrong, but I am elated we no longer have to watch slow Virginia basketball.
Yeah. He gets that from his dad, who was kind of a methodical coach. His dad was best known at Wisconsin, right? Dick Bennett was.
I don't know.
Yeah. His dad was a very successful coach, and I think he was at a small school, made his name, went to Wisconsin, but his dad was very methodical, half court, really, really pass.
And that works when you need to make up for the lack of talent you have.
Yeah.
But he's had talent and guys that can run and guys that can jump, and
yeah.
He's like, nope, we're gonna play in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the reason because they were showing some statistics that he's been first, and one of the reasons he's been first in defensive points per game at like 55 or 52. Well, they try to keep the game there with how they play, how slow. Like you're not getting 60 possessions or whatever it is when you play against them. You're not
at all. For people
And
that
if you shoot quick, guess what? You're playing defense for 30 seconds.
Woo. For people that don't know what we're talking about, late yesterday afternoon, Virginia basketball coach Tony Bennett, who won a national title at Virginia in 2019, and Zach and I went over his credentials. Man, he won like 6 ACC regular season titles, 3 tournament titles, very successful. He walked away and they set a press conference today. This was yesterday. The news came out today, and I'm paraphrasing. Tony Bennett supposedly said, "Hey, I just don't really like the direction that college basketball / college athletics are going." And he said he stepped down. I'm with you, though. Two things strike me. Number one, I respect what he says, and you can have your opinion. I don't necessarily agree with his opinion, but I don't like the timing of this. I mean,
the timing's terrible. Like, are you kidding me?
This isn't like this new landscape of college athletics just popped up 2 weeks ago. I don't like the timing of it, though.
Yeah,
Pat.
the timing's terrible. That's my grift with it. Everything else, I get it, but you recruit. He recruited players there to play for him. This year.
Zach, you had something?
I'm sure he told the players first.
Yeah.
And other coaches, but still, like that doesn't take away how messed up the timing. But if he felt as though he couldn't fully coach and be the guy he wanted to be to put his players in the best position to win, I respect that he didn't try to force himself.
Good point.
To coach.
Good point. Zach, you had something?
Yeah, I get that, and I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. So I'm kind of the internet sleuths, and what I'm kind of seeing from this, they're basically just saying that the main reason for his timing on this was that he really wanted to give one of his assistant coaches a shot to get the interim coaching job, potentially get the main coaching job, and they did go with their assistant coach Ron Sanchez. So it feels like that was the main.
Because if he did it 8 months ago, 6 months ago, they might have had time to do a search. And
they'll have a whole search, right?
And you just jogged my thought process. And Zach, this will come back to I know you're from the Low Country, South Carolina, and you're a Gamecock fan. We know that.
Right.
Do you know the reason? And I'm telling you, he told me in my face multiple times and on our show together multiple times, the reason Coach Spurrier said he stepped down from South Carolina mid-season. And at first I had a problem with that. Coach Spurrier explained to me, and on our show before, he said when he figured out that the players weren't he wasn't getting through to the players. He thought if he left right then, it gave that staff a chance to go win a couple games and maybe get retained by the school if they show their wares instead of stepping down at the end of the year and just blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
True or not, but that's what he said. He said, who was it? Sean, somebody got that job as an interim.
Sean Elliott, I believe he was the tight end coach prior.
Might have been. He got it as the interim, and they won a game or two, but then they lost 2 or 3, and they got blown out. But he said part of his thought process, Coach Spurrier, was, let me go ahead and step aside. Give these guys 5 games. You know what? If the team rallies, if they respond, if these guys show their wares, That's the best chance I've got to keep my assistant coaches employed.
Yeah.
That was his explanation.
Yeah.
Well, what Ron Sanchez?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the interim
Yeah.
that they promoted. Yep.
He was
know
the
what?
head coach at Charlotte for a few years. I actually met him, and then
Okay.
he left to go be an assistant under Coach Bennett again.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, now he's got the position. But the thing is, now that I said what I said earlier, he's going to run the same exact kind of offense. he's a Tony Bennett guy. Virginia is nothing's going to have changed.
What was it? You remember the great movie Hoosiers and the head coach who played by Gene Hackman? What did he had that rule like, hey, pass it 8 times before you shoot, and the kids didn't like it at all. 8 times, and he kept driving that home. 6 passes or 8 passes before you shoot. You don't like that, Patrick, do you?
Well, can you imagine that? Now we're in a world where coaches are led so much by analytics. They want a shot if they can get it in the first 7 seconds.
That's something. I'm fine with that, man.
First 7 seconds. And then they don't want anything mid-range. Layups and dunks.
I got
That's
you.
it. Layups and dunks.
All right, guys, let's take our first break here. Fun, busy day. Boy, it's a fun. October is a great sport month. You got a lot of stuff that overlaps, man. Major League Baseball playoffs, college football, NFL football, NBA starting. Let's take a break. I hope you guys have your picks. Let's get our picks out there, and we got to pick our show picks and our 3 picks. Patrick, you got your picks?
Nope. I'll do them right now. Hey, I got 30 last week.
All right, fair enough.
I did good.
Hey, you got about 3.5 minutes to get them done, okay?
Okay.
Zach's got his theory, and I've got my picks because I do my homework because, guys, you may not know this, but I did graduate from a private institution of higher learning. I call it the Harvard of the South, Jacksonville University. We had to study over there, private school, highfalutin academic environment over there. One down, a long way to go. We're live at Bricks, Jags Beach. Yes, the steaks are flying out, $12.99. Friday ribeye special. Come check it out at Bricks, Jags Beach.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
All right, let's see if we can use our knowledge and your money to make you money or something like that. Time to give our picks. Welcome back. It is a Friday. We're live at Bricks Jax Beach. You know it by now. A lot going on here. They're still serving the wonderful Friday ribeye special, including 2 sides, $12.99. Best deal in town. FSU football tonight. Major League Baseball playoff. 2 games tonight as well. 5:08. Which is coming up here within 45 minutes or so, and then 8:08. So a lot of sports tonight, tomorrow, all day and night, college football. The big game, Georgia, Texas at night tomorrow. Florida plays Kentucky. Tons of good games tomorrow. Then all morning and night on Sunday. Jaguars 9:30. They'll be serving it up right here at Bricks, and you can come check it out and stay around for all of your NFL action. All right, we got Patrick Young, we got Zach Rothrock, and we got the smart one here, Terry Norvelle here, ready to let's dive into.
No, Terry, you're the humble one.
I'm the humble one. Yeah, yeah, that's me. I'm just humble.
Yeah, for sure.
Signal sucks.
I feel awkward when people point out things like my shirt's nice today when Patrick says that.
Yeah.
I feel awkward. I don't know how to take compliments very well. All right, guys, let's put our collective brains together. You guys ready? We're going to put our brains together. Let's go ahead and do our team show versus show picks. We've got 3 college as normal and 3 NFL. Let's talk them through and use our consensus. All right, guys. College game number 1 against the other shows. Nebraska on the road at undefeated 16th ranked Indiana. Indiana is giving Nebraska 6.5, boys. What do you feel, Zach? Anything? Do you feel anything, or you want to just pass?
I mean, I'm fascinated by the fact that Nebraska can play so physical, and they got that quarterback that plays that improvisational style. Yeah. So I mean, I like them. I like them to, especially if I'm catching points with them for sure.
Okay, Patrick, do you have a feel for this game? Nebraska, they've got 1 loss. They played pretty well. Matt Rule, the big 5-star quarterback. Indiana undefeated. Kurt Cignetti, one of the hot names, 63-year-old coach. Indiana, for God's sake, undefeated.
Have you watched any of their games? Like, I know they're 6-0. Who have they beat?
Not much. I think they beat Illinois, which was a nice win. I think they put a loss on.
Oh, if they beat Illinois, then okay, then I feel confident that they'll win. How many points? 9?
Indiana's giving away 6.5.
Ooh.
Indiana's at home. I'm leaning with Zach. I'm leaning take Nebraska in those points, Patrick. I don't know, Patrick Young.
I don't know. Just like because I'm going back thinking about the Illinois game, and Illinois, I mean, they were pretty much neck and neck, but Nebraska's defense could not handle play action at all. They literally ran 3 bootleg play actions for touchdowns. 3.
Indiana
guys wide open. I'm like, how do you guys not know how to after the first time?
All right. What do you got? Zach, you're coming back with something. What do you got?
Well, I still like Nebraska, but I do want to point out that Indiana does have a couple of big wins against them. Somewhat like they beat UCLA 42-13. They beat Northwestern, who beat Notre Dame. They beat them 41-24.
Did Indiana beat Illinois or no?
I don't think they play. I think they play Illinois at the end of the season.
Okay.
Oh.
I think that's like their big rival.
Patrick, I think we're gonna outvote you, Patrick. I think we're out.
I'm not mad at it. if they had won that Illinois game or play, I would have possibly fought y'all on that
y'all
one. But no.
blame this one on me. I'm taking a road team, but I'm taking the points. I'm going to say, let's Zach, you and I are going to out.
Are there never any straight up bets anymore where you're just like, oh, I just think this team's going to win?
Not many. It's rare.
I don't know. All right, game number 2, boys. How about this back-to-back home schedule? Tennessee at home again. They just hosted Florida. The Vols back at home tonight or tomorrow night. Obviously, this is a historic. The third Saturday in October always means Alabama, Tennessee. Alabama already with one loss. Tennessee with a loss. Alabama is giving Tennessee 2.5 points. Guys, Patrick, I'll let you. What's your first thought on this one? Tennessee hosting Alabama, Bama giving 2.5.
I think first thing is like realizing this is not an elite Alabama team. I still do think they have great potential. Like, and the greatness really resides in their defensive side. But then, because I was listening to the guys on SEC this morning, they're like, it was kind of like theater that Tennessee whipping NC State. Like, they kicked their butts. But, I mean, NC State really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So I do feel confident with Alabama. We said by 2.5, 2 points.
They're giving 2.5 to Tennessee.
Yeah. I feel pretty confident that Alabama has played 2 bad games in a row. That they're not. I don't think they're going to play a third bad game.
Good point.
Here.
Good point. And Zach, your thoughts?
Oh, Zach would have been so elated if South Carolina could have finished that game. Oh my God.
Zachary would have been.
You don't got to bring that up. But yeah.
I also wonder if Heupel is exposed a little bit. He seems to have some flashy games against teams that might not be so good on offense. But I wonder, what are your thoughts, Zach? Alabama, Tennessee.
Yeah, I kind of feel like these teams have kind of had mirrored seasons almost, in the sense that they came in with a lot of hype, a lot of steam, and they've kind of underperformed expectations. So I kind of just really want to look at it from the quarterback standpoint. One of these quarterbacks going to have to make more plays, and I would believe in Jalen Milroe over Nico Iamaleava. So I would lay the points and take Alabama. And also to Patrick's point, it's hard to believe they're going to play back-to-back games that are poor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 3 in a row at this point. Actually, yeah, it's hard to foresee that, even though it could become reality.
I'm going to jump on y'all's bandwagon. I agree. We'll make it a clean sweep. Let's go Alabama as a team here. The big one in college football, Austin, Texas, Saturday night. Georgia already has a loss. If Georgia loses again, they still have Tennessee and Ole Miss on the schedule. Georgia at Texas. Zach, back to you for your first thoughts. Texas at home, giving Georgia 4.5 points. What say you, Zach Rock? Feelings in this game?
Man, and breaking news on this one, Uga, the mascot, will not be making the trip to Texas. Do you think this is because of the beef with Bevo from 5 years ago, potentially?
Georgia people came out and said, well, it's too far of a trip. But wait a minute. Hold on. Didn't they send Uga out to the Rose Bowl and out to...
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's always panting. Yeah, I think it has to do with the 2019 when Bevo came out and they about fought each other.
This is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, it feels like Texas is the best team in college football right now, and if they're the home team, I don't think 4 points is enough. I don't. So I would have to go with the new sheriff, Texas.
Patrick Young, what do you think? They're not even sending Uga out there. Does that tell you where we should go? We lost your audio.
We got a muted mic, Pat. Yeah.
Got a muted mic. I think he's saying, are you saying?
I can read Texas. I can tell Texas, yeah.
Tejas. I'm going to go there as well. I think Texas wins the game. I think they cover the 4.5.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Got your bet. Okay. I'm with you, Pat and Zach. I think Texas wins the game. They cover the 4.5. Something's missing on this Georgia team. I think the talent's there, but something's missing. I think, don't you, Pat, Zach, that something's missing with Georgia? And frankly, don't look now. I think tomorrow, when it's all said and done, Georgia's going to have 2 losses, and they're going to be reeling a little bit in terms of the playoff, because
it's going to be tough. Hey,
Ole
I
Miss
think
is-
what they're I think specifically what they're missing is a playmaker like a Brock Bowers, like a George Pickens that they used to have. I don't think they've necessarily got a guy like
George
that.
Pickens went to Georgia.
Matt
Oh, yeah.
McConkey. Oh yeah.
He was crazy when he was there too.
He was
But yeah,
off and on. You don't remember it because he didn't play a lot at Georgia. He was
he
in
just
and
made
out,
the.
hurt. He was suspended. He was hurt. But yeah, he was a good player. All right.
He's
that
always
wraps up
quite
the
literally
college.
been crazy.
All right, guys, let's get to our
He
three
is a great.
NFL
He is a great football player.
Oh yeah.
hell of an athlete, didn't he? Just a hell of an
Oh yeah.
athlete.
Yeah.
All right, guys. NFL, real quick. Pat, we'll throw it to you first. Your thoughts on NFL game number one. Chiefs at 49ers. Both organizations banged up. Both teams banged up. The 49ers, a 1.5 favorite. So they're
Really?
giving. Yeah, it's in San Francisco. Man, these two teams are banged up. I don't know where to go, guys. What do you think?
Well, I think the Chiefs defense is for I think that's what saved them so far of not having a loss. Yeah, San Fran is not. They're not at their best right now.
They're not. Nor is KC. Ooh, that's a tough one. Zach, what are your thoughts? We'll just talk our way through this.
That's tough.
We'll talk our way through it. Zach, what are you thinking on this game? And,
Yeah.
Kansas City's undefeated. And, boy, it's hard to win 4 or 5 in a row in this league. And they've got 5 under their belt.
Honestly, I feel like Kansas City Chiefs will be relieved if they lose one game
Might be.
because that extra added pressure of being perfect.
Might be. Zach, your thoughts?
Yeah, the Chiefs are missing more of their star players. The 49ers, I think Deebo Samuel should be back and Christian McCaffrey's out, but the majority of their defense is back. Their main issue this year has been they haven't been able to finish off in the red zone. I think I like the 49ers to get not necessarily revenge, because is it really revenge when it's a regular season, you know what I mean? But I'll look for them to win the game and cover.
I'll jump on that as well. Let's go ahead and go with SF. Let's take San Francisco. Give a 1.5 away. If they win, they're going to win by more than a point, right? By more than a point and a half.
Probably.
San Francisco.
Yeah, that's almost like a 9.
Probably the best game of the weekend, boys, for the NFL. Man, Vikings at home, giving a 1.5 to the Lions. Man, these are two good teams in the same division. Zach, your thoughts? Minnesota, they're still undefeated, right?
Ooh.
They're still undefeated, right, Zach?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
At
Which
Minnesota.
is the home team?
At Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I like Minnesota. It's going to be hard. The Lions are going to have to make adjustments without Aiden Hutchinson. And I'm not sure.
Okay, Zach's going. Would go Minnesota. Patrick, what do you think? This is a hell of a game on paper. Hell of a game.
Man, after seeing what the Lions did to the Cowboys,
Yeah. There's also that.
but yeah, the Vikings. I mean, they're good, man. Like Sam Darnold is good. Not having what's the spread again? How many points to
The Vikings are giving the Lions a 1.5.
Dang, so it's like okay.
Tight. It's a point flip.
My heart wants to say the Lions are going to go out there and win after seeing how well they played last week.
I'm with you.
Like they're playing so good. They're just calling trick play. They did the Philly special and failed, and then they did it again.
Nice.
And
Patrick,
then they had a lineman lined up as a receiver that scored a touchdown too. Like, goodness, they are so confident.
Patrick, let's gang up on Zach and let's take Detroit. We'll take the blame. Zach, we'll take the blame if we miss this. We're going to take Detroit.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Lions, by the way, if our official predictions are right, that'll knock out 2 undefeated teams, right? Will that be the end? We've got San Fran knocking out undefeated Kansas City, and we've got Detroit knocking out undefeated. They're the last 2 undefeated, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
All right. And let's go to the homestanding Jaguars. Jaguars, according to our numbers from Brent Martineau, we're giving the Jaguars, they're giving away 5.5 points. This might be is this the last time the Jags are going to be favored in the game?
Gotta be.
Jaguars, neutral site. Where are we going, boys? Jaguars giving away 5.5. Zach Rothrock, lead us off. What's your quick thought?
Well, my quick thought is there's no way the Jaguars should be giving away points to anyone. But, I mean, with my official picks, I'm just taking all the local team. I'm picking the Jaguars. If you guys both want to pick the Patriots, I totally understand. I have no logic for this at all. I'm just taking the Jaguars because
what do you think?
let's do
Jaguars,
I'm taking Patriots just because I heard someone say it just makes sense as a gambler to go hard on that spread. I think the Jags are going to win, but nothing tells me they're going to win by a lot.
I'm with you. I think the Jaguars are going to win the game, but are they going to win by almost a touchdown? I don't know. So that means I should concur with you, Patrick.
But
right?
doesn't this in some way feel like one of those games the Jaguars just randomly win by like 38 points and people just say, see, look how good they can play. See how good they can do this.
That's exactly what the coaches and Press Taylor will do.
That's exactly
what they'll do.
So, Pat, you want me and you gang up and take New England in the points? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I think the Jags win the game. I think they'll get their second win, but a field goal win.
It hurt my heart so much on the news this morning. And the Jags are playing against the Patriots. Both teams looking for their second win.
Ooh.
Like, dang.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's too cold outside for to be looking for a second win.
All right,
That's
Pat,
tough.
do you have time for another segment to do our picks? Our individual picks?
I don't think anybody else is going to come here and bother me.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do that, Zach. Let's take a break, come back, and we'll use the last 7 or 8 minutes before the top of the hour for our individual picks, and we'll do that as we are producing on the fly. Fun Friday edition during football season. We'll come back and give you our 3 picks, guaranteed money if you follow me. Patrick Young's picks, Zach Rothrock, and Terry Norvelle coming up on the other side. It is the Young and Norvelle Show coming to you from our Friday home. You know it, you love it. Bricks, Jags Beach.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Since 1936, Procter Ace has been proudly helping Jax with all your home and garden projects. Whether you need tools, paint, plumbing supplies, or expert advice, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Looking to brighten your yard? Visit our garden center for plants, tools, and everything to make your outdoor space flourish. You're not just shopping here, you're part of our community. So come in today and let us help you tackle your next project with a smile. After all,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Yeah! Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
All right, back we are. Time for our picks. Terry Norvelle, Zach Rothrock, and, of course, the star of the show, Patrick Young. We do 3 picks, and we put a point total, 5, 10, or 15. We're tracking it all year long. And much like Celebrity Jeopardy from the old days on Saturday Night Live, let's go to the scoreboard here, and we'll start with revealing the scores so far. We'll start with Zach Rothrock coming in with a -25.
That's
Zach
good,
Rothrock,
yeah. This is like golf, yeah.
he's ready to rally, though. He's promised he's going to do a rally there, Patrick. Patrick Young comes in with a solid 60 points as we're about halfway through the college season anyway. And I'm old Terry, I'm just kind of puttering along there with 150 points. So -25, 60, and 150. Here we go. Patrick, do you have a game? Would you like to lead off? Do you have your first game ready to go?
Oh, I will lead off. Let me check.
You're good. I hear you now. We hear you now.
Okay. I think he said he wants to text us his games. Okay. That is fine. So, Pat, we will scoot you aside unless you change your mind and want to do it live. But, Zach, how about you leading off?
My first game is Florida State Duke.
Oh, here we go. FSU.
Nice.
FSU at Duke. And Patrick?
I saw -3 I saw Duke giving 3.
Okay, so -3 Duke. And who are you taking?
I'm taking Duke, and I'm trying to figure out how much I want to put on that.
5, 10, or 15, Mr. Young.
Let me see the other game.
You should make that 15.
So
I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go 5.
I'm just going to put a little 5 on the Dukies. By the way,
I'm going 5.
FSU has never lost to Duke in football. 8-0 in Durham and like 22-0 overall for the Noles. All right, Zach, give me your first game. What are you feeling there, brother? What are you feeling?
Yeah, so I'll start with the 5-point game. Like I said, I'm picking all the really great local teams. The one I'm the least confident about is the Jaguars. I don't know why in the world I have to lay 5.5 points on this. That seems borderline insane. But why not? I mean, why can't they win? I don't know. They'll probably lose. But why not? I mean, they know how to play in London. They're playing against Drake Maye. He's a rookie.
Taking the Jags?
I'm taking the Jaguars.
And what do we say the points were?
That's 5.
I want you guys to finish this sentence. I heard someone say this. If the Jags lose to the Patriots, blank happens. Blank will happen.
Multiple firings. Zach?
Okay.
Yeah, a head coach firing happens.
Head will fall. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Peterson
Zach,
will roll.
How many points was that, Zach?
Yeah, so the Jaguars are laying 5.5, and that will be my 5-point game.
And that's your 5-point game. Okay, I'll lead off. My first game is a game I'll watch. I probably won't watch. It's a late game tonight. Oklahoma State 3-3 on the road at 6-0. BYU trying to win the Big 12 and get into the playoff. BYU's been a big surprise. BYU is giving away 9. I'm taking BYU. Patrick Young, and I'm putting 10 on that, by the way. 10. Patrick Young, do you have a second contest you would like to
Yeah, I'm taking that Oklahoma State BYU game.
Okay. Who are you
I think
taking?
BYU is really good, and they're going to cover.
So you're
I
taking
got
the same
it
as me.
they're giving 9 points.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're taking BYU, giving away the points, just like me. What point total are you putting on it? Either 10 or 15?
I'll do 10 on that one.
I did the same. Zachary Rothrock from the upstate portion of our country, state known as South Carolina. What say you, game 2?
What a genuine smile you just put on my face, man. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to go with FSU with Brock Glenn, not DJU. They're getting 3 points against Duke.
I like that we have
my
some games that
game.
we're going against each other.
Yeah, that's why I said you should put 15 on that one because I'm taking FSU, so I'll probably lose, and therefore you
so
can probably
you're taking
win.
FSU. Okay, FSU.
Yeah, man.
And that's your 15-point game?
That's the 10.
Oh, that's your 10.
Yes, sir.
So I got you down with a 5-point game, a 10-point game. Oh, Patrick Young and Zach Rothrock, you guys are going at it right there. Duke and FSU. Break it up, boys. Break it up.
We'll see, man.
All right, game number 2 for the guy in the first place seat here. I'm going to go with North Carolina State, 3-4 on the year. They're at Cal. I think California is the best 3-3 team in the country. I like the way they play. They play hard. California at home, NC State, a long trip. I will take California at home, giving 10.5. What am I doing? Am I crazy here?
That's a lot.
No, I like the logic of picking against the teams that have to do the long travel for the ACC game. That's ridiculous.
I like that too.
They have to have a losing record even against the spread at the end of the year. So
I wonder what at the end of the year someone needs to look that up. What's the record of the teams that had to travel from
coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
Yeah. Miami did it. Miami won barely.
I'm putting 15,
barely.
and
I had to come back.
California's had some tough luck too this year. I think California's about ready to whoop somebody. I like this team. They're fun. I've seen them play, obviously, Florida State. We saw them play a lot with Miami, even if you saw highlights. I'm putting 15 on that. All right, Patrick, your third and final game. What do you got, brother? What are you feeling?
Titans in Buffalo. That's my $15 game. I feel really good about that one. They are giving, is that 8.5? Yeah, they're giving 8.5.
Who is?
Buffalo. Oh, who? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't disrespect those guys.
So you're taking
With
Buffalo.
Will Levis.
You're taking Buffalo to cover?
Yeah, Buffalo's going to cover.
So you're taking the Bills, and that is your 5-10. That is your 15-point game, right?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, I feel very confident that the Bills can win by 9.
They're addition of Amari Cooper pretty
Very
good.
nice pick. You need it, Pat. You need it now.
Titans.
You need that one. All right, Zach, from the low country of South Carolina.
Oh man, now I'm getting disrespected. Okay, well, yeah. So this is the big number 15, and I believe the Florida Gators are getting a 1.5. Yeah, they're a 1.5 home favorite against the University of Kentucky Wildcats. My God, what year is this? Any other time, everybody would be jumping all over this, but this seems like it's a sure loss for the Gators. Whatever. I'm taking all the great local football teams that have done so great this year, so I'm rolling with DJ Lagway and the boys. I bet DJ Lagway legitimately can. Like this one, I actually legitimately do feel confident will. I think the Gators win this game. Like
so you're taking Florida, and they are giving.
It's a perfect game for him to.
It is. Yeah, I'm taking Florida plus 1.5.
Have a crazy stat game.
I think so. Oh yeah, I think DJ Lagway can light those guys
so wait
up.
a minute.
100%.
Florida is getting or giving points.
They're getting a 1.5 in the swamp versus the Kentucky Wildcats in the year of our Lord 2024.
Wow, plus 1.5. All right, and that's your 15-point pick. Okay, guys, to close it out, my final game, it's my 5-point game. I am going to the low country of South Carolina. South Carolina at Oklahoma, 2 miserable offenses, I think, with 2 miserable quarterbacks. But I'm going to take the visiting Gamecocks. I'm taking the visiting Gamecocks. South Carolina is getting 3.5 points. Give me South Carolina. I think they're just going to win the game. And they're going to win going away. So there you have it.
The defensive line is a force to be reckoned with the South Carolina.
The defensive line is a force to be reckoned with. That guy Kennard's got 7.5 sacks.
Oh yeah, he's going to be a top 5 by the time it's all said and done with the great skill
already. But Zach Rothrock. Oh, Pat, did you say something? Oh, we lost Pat.
I don't know what's happening with us.
He froze.
Yeah.
He froze.
Yeah.
But Zach,
there you go.
Why did you pick South Carolina if you were so South Carolina happy?
Oh no, I'm not. Ever since I'm a Steelers fan. Ever since I picked them to win in these picks and they lost to the Cowboys, I'm not picking the teams that I root for ever again in this contest.
Okay.
That's just something that's not happening.
I think
I'm actively cursing these teams.
That is a sound strategy. I think. As we go to break,
it's really
Zach,
not. It's really not. But whatever.
Zach, as we go to break, I got to ask you.
Kennard is.
Say that again, Kennard.
1, 2.
Yeah, we got you.
Zach.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we hear you. We didn't hear you.
Does he have to go into the NFL after this year?
I don't know what year he is.
I'm not 100% sure actually.
NFL next year
for the break
for him.
I feel like he will. Yeah.
Zach, the more important thing I've got to ask you as we go to break.
I mean, he's playing like he's about to be top 5 pick.
Oh yeah, he's a 5th-year senior. He's gone 100%.
And he came from NC State, I think, or he came from somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was it NC State?
So yes,
I think it was NC State. Zach, I got to ask you this as we break hour number 1. We'll catch up with Brent Beaird here in a little bit. A guy from Georgia Tech. You're a guy from the low country of South Carolina. You would think you're a Carolina Panther. Why are you wearing a Steelers shirt there? You're a Panther fan.
I am not a Carolina Panther. I don't hate the Panthers. I don't hate the Panthers. I root for them to do well. I'm not an anti-Panther fan, but no, that's not who came on TV. My entire family was a fan of the Steelers before the Panthers were born. We weren't just going to stop. You know what I mean?
You know what I call this kind of a fan? This Zach Rothrock. I call Zach Rothrock type of fan a Rand McNally fan. You know what Rand McNally? That means he's all over the map. This guy's got this team over here and this team over. I hate those Rand McNally. You know what Rand McNally?
Have you seen my Pirates T-shirt?
You're all over the map.
Have you seen my Pirates T-shirt?
Patrick, he's all over the map, this guy.
I'm not.
I don't like guys like that.
I reject this.
I got a friend of mine. He's a Cowboy fan. He's a Gator fan. He's a Braves fan. He's a Celtic. I'm like, I don't like those kind of fans. You're all over the map. I don't like it, Patrick.
No, it's just the Gamecocks in Pittsburgh. That's it. That's 2 places.
Like and you tell Benita I don't like it. If she's in that room, you tell her I don't like it. She'll know. She'll know what I'm talking about. Let's take a break. 1 hour down, 1 to go. Let's get back. Brent Beaird, I think, is going to join us. We're going to really dive into the weekend of college football. Great weekend. I think all the weekends now are going to be good. You got teams positioning for playoff berths. We'll get into some college football talk and get back into Florida State. Duke, man, the Noles need it in Durham. They've never lost there. Can they keep the streak alive? We'll talk about that on the other side.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream Stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, let's get into it. Brent Beaird ready to join us. We only had Brent for a few moments yesterday, and Brent, we want to get into a pretty damn good college football weekend. I will say, gosh, you got some good games tonight, actually, including Florida State. Should be a pretty competitive game. That Florida State-Duke game last year was very competitive. Actually, Duke probably should have won the game. Brent Beaird joins us now as we've got some ball to talk. Mr. Beaird, how are you, my friend?
Well, I'm doing okay, and good to be with you guys. And I know I agree with that. We start with Florida State and Duke, 22 in a row, 22-0. FSU over Duke. Gee, now Terry, if you're Duke and they win tonight, do you have a parade right after, or do you wait and have it tomorrow?
It was either Patrick or Zach that pointed out yesterday. They said, well, if Duke at 5-1 at home tonight beats Florida State for the first time ever in football history between the two schools, do you storm the field after beating a 1-5 Florida State team? Do you storm your own? Do you? I don't know.
That's a great point. I mean, you would think, though, by breaking that streak, I mean, you're still – look, the people look at the brand as much as they do anything else. So by doing that, and if they were to win the game, I think that's absolutely true. But look, to your by the way, your point tonight, Oregon at Purdue, BYU's playing Oklahoma State, Fresno at Nevada. Yeah, that's pretty good Friday night for.
I don't love the Oregon game. Purdue's pretty bad, but Oklahoma State, BYU, I think BYU is going to win, but that's worth a peek. And then of course FSU, we've got to follow the local team. Will Duke have enough fans to storm the field if they win tonight?
Oh, that's great. That's great. I don't know. Yeah, really.
You mentioned it, though. Interesting that both of these teams have lost to Georgia Tech already.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's the team that beat Duke. Duke's 5-1.
Right.
And FSU, of course, lost the opener, and that really started the season spiraling for the Noles.
It did.
8-0. Florida State is 8-0 all-time in Durham and 22-0 overall all-time. Never lost to Duke in basketball. For people that don't know, you've got Manny Diaz as the head coach. He formerly was the head coach at Miami. Manny's been around. He's an FSU grad, and he was a grad assistant there. Manny's been around Southern football. He's the head coach. And you know who the quarterback is? A lot of people don't know this. Pretty good, highly recruited quarterback for Duke by way of Texas, Malik Murphy.
That's right.
Was a four-star recruit. He went to Texas, and he got kind of squeezed out with Quinn Ewers coming over and Arch Manning. So this quarterback, he's 13th in the nation with 14 passing touchdowns. Duke, for what it's worth, they're 11-1 in their last 12 games in Wallace Wade Stadium. The pit known as Wallace Wade.
Hey, Terry, did you ever think we'd live long enough to see FSU averaging 58 yards a game rushing?
That
That is 134 in the nation, which there's only 134 teams in college football. That's not good. So okay, a list of improvements for next year. Would you find a running game number one?
And Brent, I want to say the Noles are only averaging about 15 points a game.
Yeah, they are.
Can't win many games like
correct.
that.
No,
you can't win many games. And I hearken back to last year, the game in Tallahassee. Riley Leonard was the quarterback at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
He's the starter at Notre Dame. He transferred to Notre Dame, and he got injured getting pretty late in that game. Duke was going to win that game, I think, if Riley Leonard didn't get injured.
Yeah.
And Jordan Travis pulled out. Remember, before he got hurt, he pulled out about 3 wins for the Noles single-handedly.
Oh, yeah.
Duke probably should have won last year in Tallahassee. With all that said, I think FSU wins tonight. I don't know why. I just kind of think the Noles will win.
Well, they they've got to have something to hang their hat on. But by the way, they can be proud of the fact they're number 2 in the nation in net punting. Now, if anything shows you what kind of year that they've got, is being 134 in the nation in rushing and number 2 in punting. Now, what does that tell you about the season?
Yeah, interesting. What a weird year. Weird year for Florida State. How do you think that game goes tonight?
Look, until FSU proves differently.
Yeah.
I would probably go with Duke. But
is that right? Yeah.
But is Duke going to be intimidated at all in that game?
And part of that, I think, is I don't think Manny Diaz is much of a head coach, but he's been around the block.
Yes,
and he's been he's been in FSU Miami slugfest, right? He's been on both sides of everything. I don't know. It's a tough game. Miami tomorrow at Louisville. Anything to be concerned about for the Canes? They've spit the hook out a couple times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after you come off close wins over Cal and Virginia Tech, I think you've got to be a little bit concerned. Jalen Rivers comes back, the Oak Leaf product, on the offensive line. They really need him back. I think that's going to help. Louisville's 4-2. They're 115 in the sack numbers, which means they don't have many sacks. Which means they don't put much pressure on the quarterback either. And they really struggle with quarterbacks who can run.
Yeah.
That's not real good with Cam Ward.
And
either.
Louisville in this game, obviously Miami's the 6th-ranked team. They're the marquee team in this game. Louisville needs a big win. When's their last big win? Like 5 years ago? Louisville is kind of, hey, put up or shut up. What about, I think, a pretty good game, Nebraska at Indiana. I like what's going on. I like what's going on at Nebraska, and I haven't been able to say that for 20 years probably.
Easily. And look, they need to be good. 5-1 with Nebraska. Oh my. How about this? You've got an undefeated Indiana team, and then your next game after that, you've got a week off, then you play Ohio State. Oh, man.
Well, it heats up quick, doesn't it? Heats up quick. Does Notre Dame have any concern? 12th-ranked Notre Dame, they just don't play anybody. They go into Atlanta. Georgia Tech, a decent program. They're making strides. Notre Dame, any upset alert at all there for Notre Dame?
I think the real problem here for Georgia Tech right now is Haynes King, I believe, is out, Terry.
Oh, that's not good.
The quarterback. So that's a problem. Now, I'm curious with that. I believe, Terry, that game's at Mercedes, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I think it is. I think that is a neutral site. Yeah.
They play at Mercedes. I'm just curious. This sounds awful, but it's true. Will there be there'll be a lot of Notre Dame fans there in Atlanta.
Yeah,
will there be Tech fans there?
There'll be many more Notre Dame fans. The game's in Atlanta. Georgia Tech's in Atlanta, but it won't be in their stadium. It'll be at Mercedes right down the road. And I've got to believe there'll be a crowd of there'll be 40 to 50,000 there, and I bet you 25,000 Notre Dame fans.
Got to be.
I bet you in Atlanta, Georgia, they'll big old city like that. You can't say we'll zip by a couple more games here real quick. You can't say this very often, but Illinois should beat Michigan tomorrow. Illinois is at home. Brent Beaird, Illinois should win that game. They've got a good chance at home.
Yeah. I want you to sit and ponder what you just said there.
I know.
So Illinois, but my goodness, at least for helmet games, Michigan, then they play Oregon.
Yeah.
Now let's look at this a minute and what Brett Bielema has got. Okay, if they beat Michigan, they're 6-1. Let's just say they're probably going to lose to Oregon. They'll be 6-2. Then you've got Minnesota, Michigan State, Rutgers, and Northwestern. They could split that, Terry. Yeah. They could split that, couldn't they?
Sure, they could.
And end up my Stars. If they end up 8-4, I mean, we joke about this, but they ought to have a parade, shouldn't they?
No doubt. 8-4. To some programs, 8-4 is a huge year. A lot of people say, 8-4, blah, blah. Well, it's a huge year to some programs. Brent, wrapping up a couple more games this segment, then we'll keep you on. I want to get you one more segment to kind of bounce around some college football topics. LSU at Arkansas, really sneaky good game, I think.
It is.
7 o'clock.
It is.
That's at Arkansas. That'll be a great home crowd. Kind of a put up or shut up game for LSU. Before they go play some heavyweights, including Alabama later.
Yes. Taylor Green is back for Arkansas. Now, Jaquindon Jackson, Green being the quarterback, Jaquindon Jackson, the running back, was really lighting it up in the beginning, been a little bit quieter, but Arkansas averages 200 yards rushing game. I don't care who you are. That's pretty good, frankly. Nussmeier, Terry, would you believe this? Garrett Nussmeier right now leads the SEC in touchdowns with 18.
He's a nice player. He's had a nice year. I mean, he's so seasoned. The guy's been in college football 100 years, right?
Oh yeah, he has.
He comes from a good legacy. He's a legacy player.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sneaky good game, I think.
It is. I agree.
Let's hit the big one. Third Saturday in one of the three really last games we want to talk about. Third Saturday, October, Alabama with a loss already, Tennessee with a loss already. 3:30, Tennessee 11th, Bama 7th. Where in the world is this game going? They both need it. Boy, you want to stay away from that dreaded 2 losses midway through the season for somebody.
Yeah. Well, you do. Absolutely. Look, I think the difference in this game is Dylan Sampson, leading rusher in the SEC. If he's got 100 or more, I think that that would give Tennessee an advantage. 100 or less would give Alabama the advantage. People are really kind of looking at Alabama to win this game. That surprises me a tad, just because of how the Alabama defense has struggled.
Yeah.
Now, 2 of the players Bama gets back in this game, Kobe Prentice, the wide receiver, and then they also get back their Law, their other receiver. The reason those guys they need them back, they're 2 good blockers. And look, Bama didn't block anybody against South Carolina, and they're going to have them against Tennessee.
You wonder about the experience at quarterback. I know Milroe's up and down, but he played a lot of big games. Nico's going to be good. He's feeling his way through right now. You kind of wonder if that might be. And did I hear or read something that said Tennessee, in like the last 6 or 7 games against Alabama, has put up like ungodly offensive numbers, even in losses. They've just rung up the scoreboard like 40 points 8 years in a row or 8 games in a row or something crazy.
Well, but even with that, Bama's won like 15-17.
Yeah, exactly. They've gotten in shootouts and all, but
yeah. Now Bama's going to have to block James Pierce, who's an NFL player. Keenan Pilley, the linebacker, Tennessee's out for the year.
He went out against Florida, right?
He did.
Went out against Florida early.
And that, but look, you and I both know Florida dominated that game.
Really did.
In the first half. And again, should have been had by a good bit. But look, to your point about Nico against 4 Power 4 teams, 3 touchdowns and 6 turnovers.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. And that's the learning curve,
It is.
That was Milrow a couple years ago, I mean, you gotta sometimes you just gotta battle through it. You gotta DJ Lagway threw a big interception the other night. Sometimes you just gotta battle through it. Last couple games, we'll hold the big one for the last one. Kentucky has dominated Florida as of late. And Brent Beaird, I include games that Florida actually won in the domination. Florida, the games they've beaten Kentucky in the last decade, I'm just throwing this roughly last decade, even the games Florida's won, they've stolen 2 or 3 games.
Oh, yeah.
And then when Kentucky wins, they beat the physical brakes off of Florida. Kentucky is scuffling. I expected more out of Kentucky this year and their quarterback play. I got a weird feeling Florida at home might play decent tomorrow night.
Do you remember the Kentucky game where Florida had double-digit illegal procedure penalties?
Yes, that was beautiful.
Oh, that was awful.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? Fun to watch.
Yeah. But look, if you're Billy Napier, and now I'm telling you, Terry, if they fire him, this will be one of the stats that does him in. He's 0-3 against Kentucky.
Oh man,
Terry, if you're 0-4 against Kentucky, there's nothing good about that, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. How do you see that game going in Gainesville?
If Florida can play the defense that they did, and by the way, we may need to do it on the other side, but I spoke to the Clay County Gator Club this week, and I've talked to some people close to that program, and I want to mention some stuff to you, and bounce it off of you. But what I was told is Ron Roberts, the guy they brought up from Auburn, has really simplified this defense, and they're just they're more, instead of thinking, they're more reacting. Could you tell a real? I could. Could you tell a real difference against Tennessee and how they play defense?
I will say, particularly against Tennessee the other night, and I wasn't there. I was on TV like you guys watching. I didn't see as much of this. And Florida's defense is famous for me.
Yes.
Pre-snap on defense. Me looking everywhere but where the ball's being snapped. I didn't see as much of that, which would lead you to believe, what you just said might be happening. And Brent, huge game tomorrow in Austin. Boy, now or never for Georgia. There's just something missing on this Georgia football team. I think the talent's on the roster. If it doesn't show up tomorrow in Austin, I mean, Georgia leaves Austin with 2 losses. And, I mean, Brent, we say you might be able to get in with 3, but that's dicey. If Georgia loses, they still have Tennessee and Ole Miss, and who knows what might happen the rest of the way with the Dogs.
Well,
what's missing with Georgia?
Number one, they're having first quarter issues. They've scored 17 points combined in the last 3 games in the first quarter. So they're not getting off to a good start by any means. They're having trouble with what they call gap discipline and eye discipline. And that's a real problem. They really are struggling to run the ball. But I'll tell you one thing's going to help them tremendously tomorrow. Tate Ratledge comes back on the offensive line.
Big deal.
He has been a missing link for them at this point too. But look, here's the thing I want to say about this, and I know this sounds like Joe Fan that just kind of casually looking, but there's some truth to this. Terry, Texas has not played anybody. Texas has played Colorado State, a bad Michigan team, UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma. And Georgia's played a tougher schedule. Does that pay off for them tomorrow?
How about the brands you just threw out? In almost any other year, if you are halfway through the season, we're basically halfway through the season, and if you are Texas and you get to say, I got a win over Michigan and Oklahoma. Normally you go, holy cow,
right?
Michigan and Oklahoma, but those two teams are in rebuild mode. They really are.
Yeah.
They are in rebuild mode. Going to be a big one in Austin. Going to be a lot of multiple TVs or flipping around, a lot of games on. Good day tomorrow. Brent, stay where you're at. I want some of those notes that you were talking about, and I want to throw some stuff out on the other side, including, Brent, this is going to be pretty much from this weekend on, we're going to start throwing 2-loss teams into the pool.
No doubt. No
and
doubt.
Those teams are going to start going, we better not lose another one. And there's going to be some brand names thrown in the 2-loss pool.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be wonderful for college football. He's Brent Beaird. He's hanging around one more segment. We're slowly wrapping up. By the way, baseball underway in New York. No score, bottom of the first. Boy, the Mets need this one. No doubt about it. Obviously, the Dodgers have just been running roughshod, and they're one win away from punching their ticket to the World Series. Brent Beaird talking college football on the other side, live from Bricks, Jags Beach.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So
feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at nimnickbuickgmc.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
And no sooner did I throw it to break here on the Young and Norvelle show from Bricks, Jags Beach. I threw it to break a moment ago. No score. Dodgers at the Mets. Dodgers leading 3-1. Mets in a must-win. No sooner did we throw it to break than former Gator Pete Alonso decided to hit a 3-run home run. So the Mets still batting in the bottom of the first inning, leading 3-0 in a desperation game. We'll try to track that the next half hour. Speaking of the next half hour, we're going to keep Brent Beaird around for most of that and finish off some great college football talk. Brent, you had a couple of things. I teased my thing about the two lost teams, and I've got a real problem here. And Notre Dame, I don't have anything against. I'm not a big Notre Dame fan, never have been. You either love them or hate them.
Oh, yeah.
But my goodness gracious, we know you and I don't agree with the group of five eating up one of the 12 spots. You don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
The way this is playing out, Notre Dame this has got to be one of the all-time worst schedules.
It does.
Major football program has played.
Correct.
Notre Dame has already lost to a Northern Illinois team.
Mm-hmm.
They really, unless Texas A&M, do you think Texas A&M, they're 5-1, they're going to win the rest of their games? I don't. Unless Texas A&M, who Notre Dame beat earlier, unless they run the table, Notre Dame has no win over anybody of significance.
That's right.
By the time they play Southern Cal is going to have 4 or 5 losses. And I know people are going to say Army and Navy are undefeated, but I would love to take my chances having to beat Army and Navy to get my favorite team in a. Notre Dame is going to walk into the playoff almost with a gifted spot, it looks like.
Yeah, I agree. And look, they're never going to say this, but this is why they know a Notre Dame in the playoff would bring a huge audience.
Sure.
From the TV perspective, and that is they'll never admit that's part of the criteria. But you and I both know it actually is behind the scenes.
And I do not blame Notre Dame one bit. I don't blame them holding on to their independence because it's worked for them. I blame college football, the rest of college football, for allowing it. I don't blame Notre Dame for if they can get away with it.
That's
why
right.
not? Interesting. Brent, you had some Brent Beaird, you had some news and notes you wanted to get to a little bit. I'd love to hear some of these.
Yeah. Let's talk about this a few minutes. In preparation for the speaking to the Clay County Gator Club, I talked with a beat writer friend who has talked to some, shall we say, high-level boosters.
Okay.
And they talked about the coaching situation.
In Gainesville.
Yes. That if they let Napier go, what do they do? Well, Kiffin is still number one on the list from what I understand.
Okay.
And by the way, in the notes that we shared together that I'm sure you saw.
Yes.
Look, Kiffin's making $9 million a year.
Yep.
Now that's not bad, is it, Terry?
I saw that list.
Kirby's making 13. So, but Terry, when you reach that kind of money, I'm not saying that we know 13's more than 9, but look, my stars, at some point, Terry, if you're 9 or 13, does it matter?
Yeah.
Frankly,
I will tell you this, though. It will matter to a guy like Kiffin, or I think anybody, the court of public opinion. You're not gonna let it come out that Florida got Lane Kiffin for the same $9 million.
Absolutely not.
And is he a Jimmy Sexton guy? If he's a Jimmy Sexton guy, and you know that the people courting you are desperate for you, right?
Yes.
Right? It's not like you got, Florida's got a bunch of other pretty girls that they can ask to marry them.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right now, the pool's not that deep. But, $9 million is not going to get Kiffin to listen, just from a pride standpoint. He's not going to take it's a step-up job, but he's going to say, you got to pay for me. You got to pay to transplant me.
And so, Terry, and before I get into some other names,
okay,
let's just flesh it out real quick. I mean, if he's making 9 and Kirby's making 13, and you're Florida, do you? And this is a mouthful. Do you offer him 14 or 15?
I don't think so. I think if I was Florida, I would go in that 11, 12 range. And you don't want to offend anybody, but you go, hey, 13's got 2 titles and could have been 4 titles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I don't think now, if 11, 12 doesn't turn his head, how bad do you want him and how bad do you think he's your home run guy? Then you may call him back and say, okay, what about we put you above everybody in college football? That's how bad we want you.
Yeah.
Oh, Brent Beaird.
That would be a statement, to say the least. Now let's go further with this. One of the other thing that came up with this is, and we hear this every year, and I think it's lunacy, frankly, but it just won't go away. And I don't know if it's agent stuff or what it is, but John Gruden's name was mentioned again. Now I want you to think about this a minute. John Gruden, 61 years old. John Gruden, look, what, Terry, if I'm wrong, tell me. I don't, but what Florida has got to have, you've got to have a sitting, experienced coach and power 4 that can come in and understands and works with this every day. You can't, Terry, you can't tell me John Gruden works with the same situation every day that even Billy Napier works with, can you?
Totally agree with that. Totally agree. You're not going to be able to bring a guy in that hasn't been in this culture of college football. I don't think it would work. What hasn't been pointed out about John Gruden, I haven't even taken that name serious because of what I'm about to point out. I'm stunned this hasn't been pointed out. John Gruden will never be hired, in my opinion, at the University of Florida because of the DEI stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, the University of Florida kicked out DEI, and it made national news. I mean, this is a political thing, but it's part of it. You remember Emmitt Smith came out and was mad at his university for eliminating the DEI from the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Diversity, equity, or you know what I'm talking about, the DEI.
Oh, yes.
Well, John Gruden was ostracized from the NFL because of those emails taking shots at everything that falls under the DEI umbrella. John Gruden, Florida would never hire him because of that, I think. And Brent, I'm stunned that hasn't been brought up.
Yeah. Well, and listen, here's the other thing they would never admit. Now, if you're now, and look, we both know the practicality of this, okay? Would you, and there's nothing wrong with being 61 at all. You're still pretty sharp.
And he's a young 61.
He is. But here's the reality, Terry. Would you hire John Gruden at 61 knowing that his age is going to be used against him very quickly in recruiting, or are you going to hire a Lane Kiffin type guy who's in his 40s?
Kiffin's like 49, I think. Not even 50 years old, I think. Here's another thing. It's just me, and you can jump on my bandwagon or not. I think Gruden, in terms of being thought of as a big-time coach, is a bit of a fraud. I think a lot of people fell in love with Gruden. Did he win a Super Bowl? Yes. We know he won it with Tony Dungy's players.
Yeah.
I think Gruden's a bit of a fraud, and I know he got some great mileage out of his television show when he would come on, and a lot of football fans get caught up in Z Banana Square 74X out. You know, he talked that fun football language, and I think he fooled a lot of people with that little football language. I think he's a fraud. I think Gruden's probably an assistant coach in the NFL more than anything else.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Oh, yeah. And listen, I'm going to throw the next guy in because you and I have talked about him. I still think Eli Drinkwith would be a solid hire.
No nonsense guy. Yeah.
Now, would he answer all their problems? Probably not.
Yeah.
But the reality is, doesn't he, Terry, think about this a minute. Doesn't he fit everything they need?
Yeah.
You're an SEC coach. You're a sitting SEC coach. You've had some success.
Yeah.
They had a great year last year. We don't quite know where they're going this year. But look, and Terry, I'm telling you, now Drinkwith is not a pauper either. So I think I think if they went with Kiffin or Drinkwith, they would solve a lot of their problems by just making one of the two their coach.
Yeah, Drinkwith is he's no nonsense. You know, I think he could deflect some of that Florida pressure too. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to 61-year-old. I want that number. 61-year-old John Gruden. If I hired anybody 61 years old, way before Gruden, I'd go hire Bob Stoops.
Oh yeah.
Who I don't know if he wants to get all the way back into it.
Right.
And
Agree.
All the responsibilities, but he's coaching baseball. He's coaching football right now.
Mm-hmm.
This will be year 2 in that UFL league. But I mean, he's a guy that's got college. He checks the college boxes that you said that Gruden didn't. But yeah, to me, it's Lane Kiffin or possibly bust. But yeah, Drinkwitz may not be a bad fallback plan.
Well, and let me throw this out too. This same booster talked about the fact that Scott, the athletic director, Scott Strickland, may have more support than people realize.
Is that right?
Yes. Does that surprise you?
Yes, it does.
And B, my question is, and I've seen both ways on this. Terry, does Strickland make the hire? And I'm not sure. My stars, I'm not sure that unless he steps down or they make a move. I mean, how do you not let him get involved with that somehow?
It's just a bad situation. It's just timed out. With the president situation in Gainesville, the former president came back in an interim situation because the one they went and hired has family illness and he's gone. It's just a bad, awkward situation. But yeah, I mean, and then if Scott Strickland doesn't have his fingerprints much in the hire, he's walking around with I mean. Does the football coach just pat him on the head and go, "Hey man, you don't have the panache in this athletic department to even hire me. I'm running this athletic department, not you, Scott Strickland."
Yeah.
You know, you hope it doesn't get to that, but
right.
But, will it help? Was there much talk about, man, if Ole Miss can lose one more game, they're probably out of the playoff picture? They still have Georgia. They've got another loss probably or two in them. Was there much talk about and just, hey Brent, let me stop myself for a second.
Yeah.
Just to make it more fun, do you realize in a few weeks Lane Kiffin and the boys roll into Gainesville?
Well, yes.
How fun is that going to be?
Oh yeah. Well, and look, Terry, how about this? Now at the end of the month they've got Oklahoma. And then they've got Arkansas on the road.
Yeah.
And that'll be a rivalry game. Obviously, you've got Georgia. That could be a gargantuan game. You're right. And then you got Florida, and then you end with obviously the Egg Bowl with Mississippi State. So, I mean, but what in the world if they run the table and they're 10-2?
I mean, what if they do that? The irony, though, that Ole Miss comes into Gainesville and most people are going to know that Florida's trying to steal Ole Miss's coach.
Yeah,
and
it really
Brent,
is.
I'll take some of Gator Nation way back in a kind of sort of scenario. You remember the story of the 69 Gator Bowl game right here in Jacksonville. Tennessee won the SEC Conference Championship in football, coached by Doug Dickey. And Dickey's a Florida guy, played football at Florida. He found his way as the head coach in basically the 60s at Tennessee. And he was successful. He won 2 or 3 SEC titles at Tennessee, but he's a Florida guy. So Tennessee wins the title in 69, the SEC, but you didn't play everybody. So that year, Tennessee didn't play Florida in the SEC schedule.
Right.
But Tennessee won it. Well, lo and behold, Florida had a good year. John Reeves and the boys. Florida and Tennessee get matched up in the Gator Bowl. And it starts leaking out that Florida has already told Ray Graves, the sitting Florida coach, that they're going to let him bump up to the AD because they're going to hire this hotshot former Gator player, Doug Dickey.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
So they're playing a game against each other, and it starts leaking out. And Dickey's, that's his final game as the Tennessee coach. He goes on to coach a decade after Florida.
He just basically walks across the field. Now, I need to mention this before we. I don't want to dominate with Florida the whole time, but this is important. They're honoring the '84 team. On tomorrow. Now, listen, that was a good team, and Kerwin Bell. I heard an interview with Kerwin Bell this week. Kerwin. He can't be there because his team's playing
Western
Carolina. Cade Bell that we talked about, his son is the OC at Pittsburgh and just really lightening up. Doing a great job at Pittsburgh. But here's the reality. I'm glad to see them, and I know about all the NCAA stuff, but I'm glad to see them recognizing that. I don't know how much you remember about that team.
Oh, very much.
But Terry, that team was deadly.
Really good football team.
And look, it's a shame that we didn't have some kind of a playoff and they were eligible for that playoff. I'd have been really curious how that bunch would have done.
Really, really good football team with a lot of NFL players on it. Brent, you're right. We went heavy on the Gators. That's fine. But what else? You got a couple things. We got about 5 more minutes.
Yeah. I think have we, I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but some of the numbers are in for Saban and game day.
No, I haven't heard that.
And okay, to get this, Terry, they figured out on the segment that Saban has been on. It's 3.5 million viewers at the same time of that, basically of that segment on the Fox Big Noon Show. 800,000.
Wow, and he's been fabulous. He's been what he thought. He has really been absolutely fabulous. He's adapted well. Nick Saban is a successful guy, and he would be successful in a lot of walks of life, and not just on a sideline coaching football. It's hard, as you know, Brent. You and I carry this around. It's hard to hide intelligence. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree, though? He's been fabulous on that show. I just wish they would cut some of the fluff out. And I would, hey, give me Herb Street, Saban, and Reese Davis, and let them go.
Look, that I agree with that totally. You and I are not Pat McAfee fans.
No.
Now, obviously, there's a there are a group of people who are.
Sure.
But look, I can do without the shenanigans, frankly. But that's one thing we said. Saban brings a perspective. Nothing but this minute. Saban brings a perspective to that show that they have never had. That he brings.
Yeah.
And listen. Yeah. I heard a guy say the other day on the radio. He said he said, my wife, who's not a big football fan, when Saban's on, tells me to be quiet and turn up the TV so she can hear it. What about that?
I mean, I totally agree. You feel like he's going to drop something on you you've never thought of.
Yes.
And you're going to go, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. I think he's just fabulous. And he's more personable than Urban Meyer, but Meyer brings that on the other show a little bit. He just brings that perspective and that, man, I've been in the foxhole and recently been in the foxhole, and I did it as good or better. But yes, Saban's, I mean, he's got that seat as long as he wants it.
He really does.
He has been.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely proud. You got anything else quickly we can hit? Anything else that we need to get to?
I think that about. I know we're getting slow and we're getting short on time. The rest of it can keep the next week, but it's going to be a fascinating weekend. It is as we continue. Can't wait for that.
And man, an awkward Friday night game involving Florida State and Duke. And it's not like, well, I'm going to watch the first quarter. It's going to be 28-3, game over FSU. Would you ever thought? You got to get home and sit in front of the TV. It's probably going to be a barn burner tonight.
Terry, we can talk about this later, but no, look, they're not going to fire Mike Norvelle. He got too much equity from last year. But Terry, if they go 10-2-ish, I'm sorry, 2-10-ish. What comes out of that?
Whew. It's ugly. It is ugly. And then all the uncertainty around the program. And it's not good. Boy, it turned quick. It turned quick in Tallahassee.
I've never seen. And Terry, what if? Let's just pretend a minute. What if Florida clocks them, and it's about 35-3 or something like that? What an ending that would be to the season.
No doubt about it. Brent, good stuff. Enjoy the weekend. Actually, starting tonight, good football all weekend and the rest of the year. We appreciate it. That's our buddy Brent Beaird. I think, Zach, we've got a couple minutes left. I think if you can, let me get back to my countdown thing here, and we'll count it down. Don't forget, I want to mention this though. Wrapping up this week, obviously it's a Friday from Bricks. Hey, our second show actually from our new Monday home. This coming Monday, we'll tell everybody about it. This is a hidden gem, I'm telling you. The Igloo, the Community First Igloo, right off 95. You see it. Zach, have you been to that new Igloo that they put just millions in several years ago? It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I like checking out the Iceman. It's a really good thing to bring. I got a girl in kindergarten. It's a real good thing to bring the family to. So yeah, I have checked it out, and I'm excited for y'all to be doing the show there. It is a cool place.
Now don't let me confuse you. The Icemen play their games in the arena, the big arena downtown.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, yeah. This is their practice facility, and it's an open skate. It's just beautiful. We broadcast inside their the sports bar Icebreakers inside the Igloo. Man, it is. I talked to Andy Kaufman, one of the lead domos over there. They put some $25 million into this venue. And man, if you're looking for a place to have a booster meeting, a corporate meeting, a team banquet, the sports bar Icebreakers that we broadcast every Monday now, starting this past Monday, and we'll be there this coming Monday. This place is 150 seats. They can segregate it out. It is a beautiful, beautiful facility. Looking forward to it. How do you feel about your South Carolina team? You haven't talked much about it. They go to Norman, probably have never made that trip. It's a new trip for all. Have they ever been there before, you think?
I don't think so. Definitely not in years.
We're going to get a lot of that with Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Georgia's never been to Austin. I don't think Florida's been to Austin. How do you feel? I think South Carolina's going to win that game straight out tomorrow in Norman against Oklahoma.
I mean, I definitely like their chances to slow down and stop the Oklahoma offense a lot. I don't feel as confident about the Gamecock offense, but I mean, really, all they got to do is just get the ball on the edge. Just put Lenore Sellers in positions where you just got to either just make one read and throw it or take off and run. And I think they can get pretty far with that.
What's his health?
He's good.
He was in and out of that game the other day, right?
Yeah, I think he'll be good. Yeah, it feels like he's got an ankle injury that is. I feel like he's got to be just playing through it at this point with it because it seems like it flares up every time he gets a hit. I don't know. And then they put in Robbie Ashford and That's how that goes. But yeah, I think as far as
it's apparent with both of those quarterbacks for South Carolina and the guy Hawkins for Oklahoma, I don't think they're going to. At least this year, the light's not going to come on for any of those three. So as the play caller, you've got to protect those guys, right?
Yeah,
don't ask them to do too much.
Yeah, I would be trying to get the ball into Rocket Sanders' hands as quickly as possible, and to Simon, the tight end, just short stuff as much as possible. I mean, heading into the season, you knew that heading into the season with a true freshman quarterback in the SEC, things are going to be tough. You're going to face trials and tribulations. And last week in Alabama with the fumbles and the bad snaps, and we saw it. That they happened. They revealed themselves. They're learning experience. He's growing.
I think these two teams are a lot alike. Oklahoma and South Carolina this year. You hear the phrase complementary football. They both that's their only way of really winning because Oklahoma has a real good defense too.
Oh yeah.
The best offense for these teams is a defensive turnover and give your offense a short field because these guys aren't great at driving it. Oklahoma's good. This should be a 21-14, 21-17 kind of game, one way or the other.
Yeah, that would be the over-under total is set at 40, so that would be the under. I feel like 40 is too high. 21-17 sounds about right. Yeah, for sure.
There you go. So there you have it. Good one in Austin. Interesting one in Gainesville, and just get used to it because the rest of the way, man, it's going to be a race to a 12-team playoff in college football. That'll just about wrap it up. I think it's still 3-1 now with the Mets leading the Dodgers, as that is a closeout game if the Dodgers win. If they don't, they'll play another game. But, boy, the Dodgers have control of that series. And remember, the Yankees also play Cleveland tonight. So both games play tonight. Bunch of college football and baseball tomorrow, and then NFL on Saturday. We'll talk about it all on Monday. That'll wrap it up. Have a great weekend, everybody.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number